little doggo there, we will go ahead and give you that forecast now. All right, and then we're going to get back into what we been doing here. First, to figure out exactly where that is. All right, so that's going to be another interesting part of this, as I'm vastly improving my my geography skills here. Am I pronouncing that right? Winnemac, Indiana. All right, let's go Winnemac, Indiana. All right, let's look at exactly where that is. Okay, so that's in, it's a little bit to the south and east of Chicago. It's a little bit north and west of Indianapolis. But this right here is where it is, okay? If you live down here, let's go ahead and clip this, all right? Share it on Facebook. Let everybody know what the forecast is here in Winnemac, Indiana. Once again, this is the place that we're talking about. We're going to zoom in on it over here on the radar and see what's going on right now, and then we'll look at the forecast models just for you. Just for you, okay? Right now, you're in a little bit of a snow hole, okay? Or at least you were a couple minutes ago. Okay, you were in a snow hole, and now it's starting to fill back in. You might notice there in Winnemac, Indiana, that the snow's starting to pick back up. You also might see some of those, winds starting to pick back up as well there in the Monroe Township, Pulaski County. This is a place that has a population of 2,500. 500, okay? And it's the county seat of Pulaski County there in Indiana. So let's get all 2,000 of you completely up to date on the weather. All right, we're also going to zoom in on Indiana here on the weather models. Let's go. Oops, there we go. So once again, our Winnemac is
seems like it's getting a little lighter now. Hola. Yeah, I know, right? Keep that rain here, for sure. The wind is crazy right now. I'm watching Ryan Hall's broadcast
today, right? And then he might actually make the trek all the way down to Louisiana so that he can cover the severe weather tomorrow. That's what I call a dedicated storm chaser, a professionally dedicated storm chaser. If I've ever seen one in my life, he is it. So everybody make sure you follow. If you like storm chasers, if you like keeping up with that kind of stuff, make sure you follow Storm Chaser Vince Welty over there and on Twitter, on YouTube, and everywhere else, because a lot of these guys, man, it's the way they do it. It's the way they make a living. They got to have a following. They got to be able to post videos and get views and all that stuff. So we want to support them in every way that we possibly can. And yeah, he's heading down Highway 69 right now. He's gonna, more than likely, he's gonna go down to Freeport. And then continue to go south from there towards, let's see here, I don't know, honestly, probably Dixon, and then he'll make up his mind from there. So we're going to keep up with professional storm chaser Vince Welty and Mike Scantlin as we go forward. Now, it looks like we might have lost connection with Mike. Is Mike's stream completely down, or has he started a new one, or what? It's frozen on my end. Let's see here. Is Indianapolis still nowcast unpredictable? No, Indianapolis is looking a little bit better now for snow, right? Indianapolis is looking a little bit better now for snow. Let me explain to you what I'm talking about there for Indianapolis. If we come over here to the Indianapolis radar, this is our high definition radar.
It's frozen on my end too, and there's not a new one up yet.
Okay, thank you, Frank. We'll work with them to get another one there. So if we come over here to Indianapolis, you're looking out the window right now, and if you're a snow lover, if you're a fan of snow, you're sad. Okay, you're sad. You're looking out, and you're like, what's going on? Because it's raining, right? So the thing is this first punch of snow is going to really, it's the most of it's going to miss you, okay? And you're going to get all rain for this. This is why you're not one of the places that's expecting close to 2 feet of snow. However, that second punch is going to slice right through you and absolutely nail the downtown Indianapolis area. So now we're a little bit more confident that you will see at least 6 inches of snow, all right? There's still a very slight chance, shot in the dark there, that you see a little bit more than that, maybe 12 inches, 6 to 12. But I'm saying 6 is my official, that's my final answer there. But once again, I think that there's a good chance that you might see a little bit more than that. Hey, Kathy says, thanks for all you do, Ryan from Lexington, Kentucky. Thanks for all you do. Every single one of you guys watching right now. Mabel, thank you for becoming a member. Cumbria, once again, thanks for that big time 50 bomb there. You guys are incredibly generous with your contributions today. We see that that snow and that rain starting to build up back here in Texas, okay? This is what's eventually going to become our ice storm, or our first punch of, wintry weather there in Dallas and Sherman, all the way up into Fort Smith and Fayetteville in Arkansas. We're going to now cast this pretty hard as we go forward to see how much moisture we get here, because one of the things that the models are a little iffy on is the amount of moisture that comes in, all right, and the amount of cold air. So Dallas, we're currently thinking that we're going to see some ice accumulation. That's going to be the main focus down there in Dallas, but that could change as we go forward, as we start to look at this moisture buildup. Is there a lot more here than more ice and snow? Cold air, is this switching over faster than what we thought on the backside? We might see more snow, so that's something we're going to check in on periodically. It's currently 48 degrees in Dallas, and the temperature
Mike's stream might be back up.
Mike's stream might be back up, so let's go over here. There we go. Yep, we got he is in Tulsa, literally in downtown Tulsa, just off I-244 there. So he's going to be in a pretty good place this evening or later on to kind of show us some of the snow and ice that's going on in Oklahoma. Come back over here to the radar, look at everything that's going on. We'll give you a broad view. Turn those temperatures off for now. This is a big system, guys. Once again, if you saw on our Radar Omega app, this covers a lot of people. From Austin, Texas to Dallas to Oklahoma City, Wichita, St. Louis, Memphis, Indianapolis, Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Syracuse, Toronto, all the way up into Austin, Bangor, Quebec, and Caribou. Like, nobody's getting away with not being touched by this thing. Even if you don't get a big snowstorm out of this, your weather will be affected in some way by this giant storm. So yeah, Allie, thanks for becoming a moderate risker. Aqua, thank you for becoming a slight risker. Let's see here. Robin Baker, did the forecast change for Fort Wayne, or is it still 21 inches? So, Robin, the forecast for Fort Wayne, it's still possible that the snow totals reach 21 inches up there, but the range is more like 18 to 24, right? Or maybe even 15 to 22, something in there, okay? So it's possible that you get less than 21. It's possible that you get a little bit more than 21. You guys know, you've seen that before. You've seen the ranges, but 21 is definitely within the range of possibility there in Fort Wayne, Indiana. We have 20 to 50 mile an hour winds in Nevada. Yeah, so the winds, that's another thing that we really need to talk about. If you're preparing for an ice storm here, let me show you some of the information that you need to know about an ice storm. I've got an image here that I can kind of depict some of the different probable like outcomes of what can happen. I'm going to open that in a new tab, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Can you guys see this? Oops. Yeah, can you see this? Looks like it's pretty visible there. So here's the reason why we are concerned about ice today. All right. If you don't understand why we're freaking out about ice, here's why we are concerned. This chart shows you the potential impacts from different amounts of ice depending on what the wind speeds are. So we're going to stick with 25 to 35 today, because that's what we're expecting. In a lot of the places that are expecting ice accumulations, we could see 25 to 35
I know, right? Wouldn't that be fun?
So if you get
just I can't chase too much with a $400,000 boat
of an
behind
inch
me.
of ice to a quarter of an inch of ice, and you receive higher than a 35 mile an hour wind gust, this could be the level 3 tier here, which obviously that's, we're hoping that doesn't happen. But if you get the 25 to 35 wind gusts, which is what we are expecting, and you get between a quarter of an inch and a half an inch of ice, which is a lot of you guys under the ice storm warning, numerous utility interruptions with some damage to main feeder lines and equipment expected. Tree limb damage is excessive. Outages can last 1 to 5 days. 1 to 5 days. That'll be the vast majority of the impacts that we see from this storm. Okay, obviously, it is possible that some of us see 3/4 of an inch of ice or higher. It is possible, and with that, this will be isolated. Not everybody. I'm not talking about everybody that's getting an ice storm today. Not everybody's going to see this, but isolated impacts that include prolonged and widespread utility interruptions with extensive damage to main distribution feeder lines and some high voltage transmission lines and structures is possible. Outages lasting from 5 to 10 days. This is the worst case scenario. Okay. However, if you end up with 3/4 of an inch of ice and you get a 25 to 35 mile an hour wind gust coming through there, the damage is quite literally going to be close to catastrophic. Okay, so we're hoping for the best here. Our forecast, meteorology is not an exact science, so our forecast models, even though that they can show some pretty scary stuff sometimes, a lot of times they're wrong. Okay, and especially in a finicky situation like trying to predict freezing rain and ice, a lot of times they are wrong. So we've got to keep a very close eye on this. If we start to see reports coming in of 1/4 of an inch of ice or 1/2 an inch of ice, and we're not even done yet, and we're not done with the storm yet, that's when we got to start worrying about this stuff. But the vast majority of us will see this. Okay, so if you only get let's say you get 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch of ice, which would be a lot of you guys in Texas, scattered utility interruptions are expected. Typically lasting 12 to 24 hours. Roads and travel conditions may be extremely hazardous due to the ice accumulation. That's going to be like the majority of everybody that sees the lighter accumulations. That's the most of what we're expecting there. And then, of course, if you get less than that, some isolated or localized utility interruptions may be possible. Typically lasting only a few hours, roads and bridges may become slick and hazardous. So keep this in mind, and let's take a look at some of those ice accumulation forecasts. Let's zoom out here to the whole United States, and we'll look at the official National Weather Service forecast, which is going to be kind of like the lower end of what can actually happen. But then we'll get an update on some of the higher end totals, just so we are prepared for the worst. So everybody that's in the pink here, according to the National Weather Service, let's go back one so we can go a little bit further into the future. Everybody in the pink has the potential to see at least a glaze of ice. So I don't want you to get really concerned if you're down here in South Central Texas. You're not going to see an ice storm, okay? You just have the potential to see a glaze of ice. Same thing for you down here in East Tennessee, okay? You're going to get a glaze of ice. Extreme Eastern Kentucky. We're not talking about anything scary here. In the mountains of West Virginia, not talking about anything scary. The closer into the central portion of that pink zone you are, though, and especially in Tennessee, Arkansas, and Kentucky, along the Ohio River area towards Lexington, we could see anywhere from 1/4 of an inch of ice to 3/4 of an inch of ice. So these are the areas where you can expect, once again, widespread power outages, more than likely, with isolated incidents of power outages that last longer than just a couple of days. Okay, so none of us want to be without power for more than a day. None of us want to be without power for any time at all, but it becomes a real problem when you surpass 24 hours. If the freezing rain occurs, if that actually happens, if you're in the dark pink here, that's what you are looking at for your potential impacts. Now, once again, this is kind of a conservative forecast. Some of the models are showing more than this, and they're also showing it displaced a little bit further east. What about that GFS model? GFS says, oh man, you're not only going to get 3/4 of an inch of ice, some of you might get 1.5 inches. I don't even want to think about that. We're not even going to talk about that. If you're prepared for 3/4 of an inch of ice, that's what we need to worry about, okay? Like, we don't want to send everybody into hysteria here. And one of the reasons why I'm not kind of thinking that this is actually going to be the reality, 1.5 inches of ice, is because a lot of the precipitation that's going to fall it's going to fall as heavy rain. Okay, so imagine you're trying to get ice to build up on something, right? Let's say it's 30 degrees outside and you've got a tree. All right, it's not raining, but you want to decorate that tree. You want to get as much ice hanging off that tree as possible. How are you going to do it? Are you going to get a fire hose and just sit there and blast the tree? Eventually that will work, okay? Don't get me wrong. Eventually that will lead to a lot of ice. But the quicker way to getting it done is to mist it, okay? Put some lighter water on. Let that water kind of stick to the branches and stuff without immediately flowing off. You know, moving water is harder to freeze than standing still water. So if you mist it, if you lightly glaze the tree, the ice is going to build up more efficiently. So today and tomorrow, some of the rain that we're going to be getting in some of these areas that are expecting the most ice is going to be really heavy. So I think that will limit the ice accumulations a little bit. Now, don't get me wrong. Imagine the fire hose situation. That's still eventually going to lead to a lot of ice. But it takes more time. It'll take a longer duration for that to happen.
Hey, will one of the mods get rid of that, whoever's posting links to bullshit? So I had somebody reach out to me this morning or late last night. Apparently they bought a flag from Morgan and some other stuff and had become a Patreon supporter, and then asked her about when's my flag going to be done. And apparently she's talking crap about other people again. Wow. Just wow. Such a sociopath. Oh, somebody already deleted that message. Alright, cool. Appreciate that. Why do I get the arrow down here? Interesting. She never paid it. There's charges for it, but she never paid it. she posted this video the other day about she's getting off of YouTube, gonna stay on Patreon. She's so tired of the negative. Well, if you weren't screwing people over every day, if you weren't, lying through your teeth, then maybe people wouldn't, say hateful stuff. I mean, honestly, that's how it is. I want to do things. I want to be a channel for people to help people. Well, why don't you help the people you screw over that you're taking money from? Why don't you finish the flag that you said you were going to finish for somebody, and or give them their money back? Yeah, it's just the same stuff, different day. So. It's a shame. That's what it is. What happened to Ryan Hall's feed?
I'm showing you this is because you're going to see this stuff on Facebook. You're going to see this stuff on, people are going to freak out about this stuff because, honestly, 2 inches of ice is 100% something to freak out about. That will literally be catastrophic. However, just know the reason why I and the National Weather Service, the reason we're not forecasting this much ice is because there's a lot more factors that go into this than just what the model knows. This is why it's important that we have meteorologists. Some people argue that, well, since we have these forecast models and these automatic computer forecasts, why do we even need a meteorologist? This is why. Okay, you need to be able to inspect the data and understand what's wrong with it. Now, don't get me wrong. Because the model shows this, it does mean that it is possible. It is possible. However, it's at the upper echelon of the possibilities. We like to talk about averages. That way you're prepared for everything that can happen. And, just in case the lower end of the average happens, you're not over-prepared, and you don't come marching down the street with pitchforks after your weatherman. Because we don't want to see that. Don't blame your weatherman, guys, if he gets this one wrong.
New text message from Cash App notifications.
Especially in the ice zone. Hey, Linda, thank you for the super chat. Big time support there from Linda. Patrick, thank you. Lynn Holloway just became a high-risk member. That's super awesome. And Kansas Rockhounder became a slight risker. Thank you all so much. So hopefully, was that a good job? Did that really help you guys out with understanding the ice impacts and the reason why it can be significant and the numbers to look for what can be a significant? I know that looking at the maps and seeing 0.25 to 0.50, it's like those numbers seem so insignificant, but hopefully that helped you out a little bit with understanding why it's
I don't know. I don't know what she said.
Imagine
I didn't see
a 40-foot section of power line. Look at Vince's stream here. And you see these power lines?
I don't think she has any of that live information or live video
more than 40
still
feet
up.
between them. But imagine each one of those lines caked in an inch of ice. The hundreds and hundreds of pounds of weight that would add and stress that would add to the lines is really, it's indescribable. And then you throw the wind gust on top of that, and those things are coming down, and it's going to take a while to put them back up. That's why we are concerned about the ice. We're hoping for the best, though. We are hoping for the best, and that's why we're doing this live stream as well, so we can nowcast. We can keep an eye on everything that's happening right now. Like, for example, here in Indianapolis, it's raining.
If I was begging her for money,
right now,
why in the world was I giving?
A lot of eastern Kentucky and a lot of Tennessee is seeing rain. All the way up here into Toledo, Ohio, it's still raining. However, it's snowing pretty hard there in Lafayette. Hey, Fort Wayne, Indiana, you have been rain, and now you're switching over to snow. So if you are in Fort Wayne, Send me those pictures. I want to get, this is why it's important that we have those reports coming in. I want to see the ground truth. Is the radar lying to me? Is it actually snowing now in Fort Wayne? Let's see those pictures and videos come in to the Twitter at Ryan Hall y'all on Twitter. And also, you can do the Facebook as well. You can do Facebook as well. We've got somebody watching the Facebook, and we are going to show those periodically if you want to do it that way. I know some of you don't have Twitter. But anyways, it's getting ready to switch over there in Fort Wayne if it hasn't already. Big time heavy snow. Okay, heavy snow is really impacting Interstate 70 now between Highland, Vandalia, Effingham, all the way up into Casey. Okay, so north and east of St. Louis, we're talking about extremely heavy snow here. I'm almost certain that road is pretty treacherous right now. I'd stay off I-70. I'd stay off I-57 between Champaign and Effingham too, between Scola and Charleston.
Maybe we should just stay off all the interstates.
Effingham once again. That's some heavy snow getting ready to cover the roads.
Y'all remember Ace Man, right?
Prepared for this, guys. You might think over here in Danville,
Ace Man RC.
It quit snowing. It was snowing good earlier, but now there's nothing. There's a big old bowl of nothing.
I think he was one of our mods.
In about 5 minutes, that's going to change for you. I promise.
Screwed him over.
Some heavy snow, probably heavier than what you seen earlier, is getting ready to move through the Danville area between Champaign and Indianapolis there on I-74. How about you down here in Missouri? You saw some pretty heavy snow earlier, but it's kind of died down a little bit now. This is not filling in as fast as I thought it would, but I think it is going to continue to amplify. We're going to see more snow come out of this. Let's look at our camera. We got a live camera down there in Columbia, Missouri. Shout out to Kyle for this. Looks like, I don't know, Kyle, if you could send me an official report of how many inches of snow you have.
What's
Nice.
the deal with Ace?
There's certainly a decent amount. And we got our neighbors out walking the dog.
He sent me a long email this morning.
Yeah, this is a live view down there in Columbia, Missouri. Looks like
I thought they were friends.
Right now as well. So, this radar doesn't do the best at depicting where the heaviest snow is. That's why sometimes we switch over to our high def radar. And of course, we're continuing to watch this. This is the second punch coming.
Whoa, the winds on this bridge are crazy. Holy shnikes.
This is going to determine how much snow you guys have.
Oh, wow, that's craziness.
Again,
Blowing that boat everywhere.
hey, super huge shout out to Alan. He says, hey, Ryan, is it okay to eat the yellow snow? Absolutely
Oh, really?
not, man. I can't believe you got to have me tell you that. Of course it's not okay. Hey, Christine. Oh, my goodness. Everybody say thank you to Christine, who just upgraded their membership to an official sponsor. That's big. That's a big move. Thank you so much. If it wasn't for people like Christine, I couldn't do this. I couldn't dedicate 20 hours of the next 48 to this live stream. Thanks to Christine again. Thank you guys so much. And Feral Dragon says, when the ice starts to melt, the tree branches start popping back up and can snap the power lines too. Yeah, there's a lot of problems that happens with the ice. We are not looking forward to the ice.
Hey, Todd.
I'm hoping that... I
was in Louisiana and it was pouring rain.
Dramatic.
And I'm watching Ryan Hall y'all as he's going over all of the weather.
We start looking at really pretty pictures of snow. That's what I like. Here's a good picture from Dale in St. Louis.
Oh, really?
Here's an example of.
I mean, did anybody get any money out of that? Or did anybody donate? I mean, is there any proof to that?
Destructive. We had no electricity for 14 days. So that if you've never seen the impacts of an ice storm before, this is
Man, the drama on YouTube is unreal.
It's not good. It's not snow. It's not sleet. I mean, some people would
Absolutely
say ice storm,
unreal.
Like, are you talking about those little Dippin' dots that fall from the sky? I've seen that before. Or hail. That's no big deal. No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about literally rain. It's raining. It's just raining, but it's 27 degrees outside. What happens to that rain? Freezes on impact. Freezes on
Watch
impact.
out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
Dale, thanks for sending that in. We got 5 inches there in Hebron, Indiana so far. Hebron, I think is the correct way to say that. Thanks for sending that report in once again. That's
Really? They shut it down?
Snow already.
Wow.
Here we go. Here's a good entry for our break it down thing. That'll be coming up in 35 minutes, by the way.
I'm trying to understand why someone would do a GoFundMe for someone who's already dead. I mean, like if they were sick and they needed help.
I'm going to be completely out of the picture. Okay, so Pete, this is great. This is great. This is why we love to have you guys watching and sending in your reports and videos. Pete says, here's a video from Fort Wayne,
Did he
Indiana.
cancel it because it took forever, or what was the reason behind that?
It's just rain right now, so let's inspect that. Let's really get down into what's going on here. Of course, our big fancy colorful radar here shows that we're switching over to full snow in Fort Wayne. But what does our high definition radar show? Let's pick the best radar location, and of course, once again, this is beautiful watching this happen in action here. This is the one we need to be paying most attention to actually depicting where the snow is.
Have y'all seen the video I launched this morning at Kenny's?
We are still seeing that the green indicates rain in Fort Wayne. Now the pinks.
Yeah, we couldn't get the Cadillac CTS-V to start. It hasn't started in 2 years. The DeLorean definitely didn't start. Of course, all the batteries were dead. Thank you so much for sending that in, guys. This is really, really cool. You guys are so interactive. 18 inches of snow.
Sharing your pictures and videos with us.
Yeah, I know. I agree, Justin.
It's definitely snowing.
Like, don't you have something better to do?
No question about that. Hey, thank you to Matt Martin for sending that in.
Well, I mean, she's figured that by telling people to get off of YouTube, that she's not going to go there, that it forces people to buy the Patreon. And I mean, with 160,000 subscribers, let's say if you just got 10,000 people to pay $2, I mean, you're making, Patreon keeps a hefty chunk. So I mean, at even just 10,000 people at $2, you can do the math. I mean, she's making 8,000 a month easy. Holy shit, this guy's. Speed that shit up, dude. You can't be going 40 miles an hour on the freeway. Especially when it's raining, making people have to do stuff like hit brakes. I think the revenue you generate from Patreon is about 60%. I don't know. Does anybody know what the numbers is on that? All right, let's go turbo. You know, hear this truck? Yes, it's still there. I love how Waze now gives you points for reporting stuff that other people have reported.
Thank you guys for sending in your stuff on Facebook. It is just easier on Twitter, but it's all right. It's all right.
Bump. The front shocks on this truck are garbage. I think I'm gonna figure a way to. Really? Okay, well that's information that's interesting. So, all right, with 100. Your 6-liter whistle all day. That's funny. I drove the Excursion the other night. And now I've put a GT38R turbo on that, ball bearing turbo. It's got a 4-inch cat back, or not, there is no cat, excuse me, 4-inch downpipe back exhaust. And that's about it with that truck. The low end torque of a 7.3 Power Stroke is just, especially when it's got a good turbo and a good exhaust, compared to this, it's just, it's so crazy. It doesn't make half the horsepower this truck does, but it sure does accelerate great. all sorts of cool power stroke noises.
Watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
And the winds when you get in these open areas is crazy. Absolutely nuts.
This shows us where the rain is falling. This side over here shows us the intense plow. Plow, guys. What am I talking about? Hey, Linda, thank you so much for being a slight risker. Josh, thanks for.
Oh yeah, Patreon's making crazy bank.
Jennifer,
Patreon, OnlyFans. I mean, all those.
Chat there. You guys don't have to do this. You don't have to do this, but I do appreciate it, and so does Vince and all of our other storm chasers. Maddie, slight risk member. Eddie, Vince's gonna have steak dinner tonight on Eddie. Thank you so much, guys. All right, let's go back over here to our pretty looking radar and get a broad view of everything that's going on. Once again, this is the latest sweep of our nationwide radar here. Heavy rain still moving through central Kentucky and central Tennessee. This will lead to isolated flooding problems. Absolutely unfortunate there in the Lexington region that we might see flooding and then an ice storm on top of that. Imagine that, guys. Oh my goodness. And then, of course, we're all snow back here from Kansas City to Springfield to St. Louis to Peoria, Champaign, Fort Wayne here very soon, and then all the way up into Detroit. This is going to continue to slide off to the north and east. And eventually we are going to get a break, and we're going to wait for punch number 2.
Police reported
Punch
ahead.
number 2 is going to load up here
Man, I gotta fix these roads.
for too long, and that's where we're going to see the next big area of snow start to move up to the north and east. So remember, this is going to affect you more than just today up there in
Uh-oh.
Illinois and Indiana.
Someone just spun out.
Broad view of everything. Carly says, okay, so and that's fine. The Facebook pictures.
See, the
look fine.
crosswinds are so nuts. Look at this car spun out and hit the
I just want to
bridge.
make sure we can get all of the ground truth as we possibly
Wow.
can. So we'll keep doing it that way. We'll figure it out before the next one for sure. Snowfall. Okay, so David says snowfall has begun on the north side of Fort Wayne, Indiana.
No, I didn't.
Can we get more confirmation on that? Snow has officially begun on the north side of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Let's see here. We got just about 4 inches now in Jefferson City. Hey, Zay, thank you so much for sending that in. Stuff is piling up out there. Let's see here. I just switched over to snow in Ferndale, Michigan, on the northern border of Detroit. Okay, so a lot of Michigan has already seen truth as we possibly can. So we'll keep doing it that way. We'll figure it out before the next one for sure. Okay, so David says snowfall has begun on the north side.
I am on I-10 going up 65.
Has officially begun on the north side.
Rent is
of Fort
paid.
Wayne,
That's nice.
Indiana.
I'm going up 65 to 85 through Atlanta, going home. Tomorrow I'm going to deliver the C-Ray to Charleston. And then I've got to pull the Scarab out of the shop, and I'm taking that down. I don't know if I'm going to do the Scarab first, or I think what I might do is come get Tommy's trailer and bring you guys the Aero Vault. What do you think about that, Todd? I've got a trip for an airplane and a very, very high-end inflatable rib boat. But I got to put new tires on Tommy's trailer before I make the trip.
Is that Gallatin or Gelatin? Missouri. Hey, Focus, thank you so much for sending that picture in there. It looks like you got a nice little skid of snow now. Oh, I like this. Somebody, this is a screenshot here. And they've noticed that we've got a little bit of a Nike swoosh.
Oh my God, that's funny.
It is now snowing. Okay, so we're seeing a lot of places start.
Yeah, if y'all don't follow Ryan Hall's YouTube channel, you should. It's awesome.
New text message from Cherie Lynn Faber.
Pretty good there too. South Whitley, Indiana. It's also snowing. Here's a look at Elkhart, Indiana. Maybe slow down a little bit. But a lot of accumulation out there. I love the way the snow looks when it piles up on the trees like that. That tells me that you're also in an area that isn't experiencing much wind right now. So that's good. Okay, we want to see the wind gusts remain minimal in every to this storm, because even where you don't get.
Go ahead, Ram truck. Haul ass down there.
Trees and power lines like that.
There's the Popo. Let's see him at his brakes now. Oh, he didn't do anything about the guy hauling ass in the Ram truck.
Else that sent us a live stream that we will show here intermittently. Guys, thank you so much for all the reports. It's kind of overwhelming. I don't get to show all of them, but we try to show most of them. Here is from Illinois.
Definitely, Chula Vista. It wasn't me.
Now you can't tell me that and not give me some sort of proof. I want everybody that has a Nest doorbell camera, that has security cameras, I want you to investigate that for me in Springfield, Illinois. Did we have thunder snow at 4 a.m.? First one that gives me verified proof that we have thunder snow, or sends me a new video of thunder snow from today's system.
Thunder
I'm
snow.
ordering pizza and having it delivered to your house. I'm not kidding. You guys think I'm joking, but I'm not. But anyways, we got an unofficial report from Sherry here that we've had thunder snow around 4 a.m. there.
Yep, Sherry was reporting thunder snow. So, give you guys an update on Jay. He washed out. Won't be hauling for us anymore. Never made any payments on his truck after 3 months. Don't know where the money went. Other than the cell phone bill that I paid as well. So he says he traded the truck in, yet he won't tell us where. Because I was gonna see about buying that 2500 Laramie Longhorn. I'm certain he didn't tell the dealer that he traded it in and it has a bad transmission. But we'll see. Well, part of me thinks that he's lying. So Monday, I gave him $1,400 to go pay the note on the truck, so it didn't get repossessed. I have 3 transports this week that now I can't do. So I'm gonna have to defer them. There's the girl Tanya Turner that I'm talking to about doing some transports. She's up in Montana. She hauls horses and is looking to get into the boats, and she's moving to Florida. And she's got a 2020 Ram Laramie, beautiful truck. It's actually the same, I think, billet silver as my truck. It's a long bit, but if she ends up coming down to Florida, then most definitely I'll get her booking some trips. But yeah, you know, it's just, there's only so many chances you can give to somebody. You know, James and I both just kept, you know, I don't know, can y'all see the clouds in the distance? Those clouds are moving crazy fast. Crazy fast. I'm going to bring up my Travel Link XM weather on my display in the truck. Wow, let me zoom out and see how, holy cow. That's pretty serious.
High riskers. We got a lot of new high riskers today, and extreme riskers, and moderate riskers, and all the big riskers. Hopefully our mods are still keeping up with our hashtag Break It Down Ryan, because I'm seeing a lot of good entries here. Hey, thank you so much, guys. Thanks for sending in all the reports and pictures. Here's Nick Gorman. Here's one of our storm chasers. He's out today.
I knew what you meant, Justin.
Current snowfall in Girard, Illinois is at 9:15 a.m. Thanks for sending that in, man. That's super awesome. Very good video. You get a really good idea of exactly how much snow we're looking at here from this. Also, we got a picture in from Jessica in Plainfield, Illinois. We love the doggo pictures. We love them. Thank you for sending that in, guys. All right, let's do another broad overview of everything that we're talking about. Let's do those watches and warnings, and then we'll go through the future cast on the latest information from the models as well.
Yeah, right?
Give me just a second to set that up, though. I am going to continue to talk more about how much more snow you can expect into the future.
You know what? Let's do. Hold on a second.
Ice you can expect, and we're also going to touch on that severe weather threat and flooding threat a little bit further to the
There goes
south.
that popo.
We get all of it here. So make sure you hit that like
Oh, no,
button,
that's not
share
him.
this,
That's a Louisiana
copy
tag.
the link to this stream, post it on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Send it in a text message to a family member or friend so this vital information can reach people that, you know, a lot of people don't watch the news. Man. They don't watch it. Maybe they don't even have access to it. Maybe they just rather watch YouTube. So make sure you share this with everybody. The more the merrier here. Even over there in Cascade, Colorado, we're piling up with the snow. Check it out. This is from Colorado's storm
Please
chasers.
report ahead.
I wonder why
Big time snow there, nearing 12 inches of new snow. Thanks for sending that in. So this is a widespread storm, guys. We've been talking a lot about Illinois and Indiana and all these places, but even Colorado and New Mexico are getting buried with snow with this thing. And of course, it's going to continue to go to the north and east. Michael Newton says, thanks for your informative uploads and live broadcasts. Southeast Missouri is not looking forward to the ice. Shay Jones says,
We're gonna call him and find out how he's doing in the neighborhood. Well, we're ringy-dinging it. Recording Popo.
Please leave your message for.
Alright, well,
Snow pizza. Absolutely. I can't wait to do that. Thank you guys for the support. C, thank you for the big 10. He says, thanks for keeping us all informed. No problem. I love doing this. I love doing this. It's not a job. Like, it's not like, obviously I do this full time now, but like, it's not like a hard work for me. I enjoy being here for 12 hours a day, just talking about the weather, vicariously living through you guys who see snow. I never get it here anymore, it seems like, in my part of the world. Oops. I need to fill up my big water jug. April, thank you so much for being
alright, so I tried calling Kelly.
I'm going a little crazy here trying to hydrate. Alright, let's do that. Let's get a broad overview here.
I wanted to see how he's loving the ambulance.
App. Let's, first of all, let's turn our cyclone reports off. And let's go and turn our radar off. Let's go back to the satellite view. And we're going to turn our warnings back on because it's important that we keep track of this. We're going to see new warnings pop up all day long.
Yeah, I know.
And we got to.
You love shoveling snow and using snow plows.
If you are in the pink, you're under a winter storm warning. That includes Dodge City, Wichita.
If you're in the pink, you better not be online.
Wichita Falls, Dallas, and Austin, and Texas. It includes St. Louis, Pine Bluff, Jonesboro. It includes Cincinnati. It includes Moorhead, Kentucky, Columbus, Ohio, Fort Wayne, Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, and Syracuse, all the way up into northern areas of Vermont. This is a very, very large winter storm warning, and it's one of the largest I've ever seen. We saw something similar last year, but this is even crazier because not only do we have the big time winter storm threat, but we have an ice storm warning.
Snowboarding, huh?
In the purple outlines there. That includes Louisville, Lexington, Richmond, Campbellsville, Elizabethtown, Owensboro.
I think snowboarding would be fun if you were getting pulled by like a side-by-side or something crazy.
In Kentucky are under an ice storm warning.
You know, get a rope, be out there just kneeboarding on it.
Seriously, it's a dangerous situation unfolding down there. And then also in western
The wind has shifted into a dead headwind now.
Dresden, Paris, Dyersburg, Brownsville, Memphis. Even in northwestern portions of Mississippi, we talk about this possibility. We have.
Look at this. This went all the way around me.
For Hernando down there.
To cut me off.
Extreme northwestern Mississippi, and of course this continues off.
All they had to do, and she's still way behind where my boat is. All she had to do is just slow down and go behind me, and she'd be in the same place in the right-hand lane. I'm telling you, when you get the new GoPro, and I'm just going to drive around and do, this is how you should not drive. Here we go. More crazy rain. The wind is insane. If it gets really bad, I'll put this Biatch in four-wheel drive. Yeah, might as well just do it now. Alright, we're locked in, four-wheel drive. 4x5 plow on front, 3 scoops of salt.
Is this sleet, and then it'll lose the snow.
Yeah, milk sandwich. Isn't it funny? Since you're buying all this bread and milk, what are you making? A milk sandwich?
It's going to start snowing again around 3 a.m. on Thursday. Where in some of the places
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
This is also when some of the heaviest freezing rain is going to start falling in Arkansas, Western Kentucky,
Let's see,
Southern
what's the
Illinois,
speed limit
Indiana,
here?
into Ohio. Please pay attention to the radar during
Speed
this
trap
time.
ahead.
Because this is when it all starts. This is when the ice storm starts. Same thing down here in Dallas. Okay, we're going to let sleet. It's freezing rain showing up on the radar. Hopefully it's all sleet. And then on the backside, we got more snow. Heavy snow in Tulsa. Heavy snow in Missouri. Okay, and then that's going to move all the way up into.
I wish people would mark the
Indiana once
police,
again. This second bunch is going to be quite a bit further south
in the direction of traffic that
Indianapolis,
do.
you're going to be in Snowtown, maybe, on this one. All right, and then we're also going to see that heavy sleet and snow all the way down into Columbus, and then Cincinnati, Paducah. You're going to be sleet during this time. But the really concerning thing here is, well, two things. First of all, we're going to have a severe weather threat down here in Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama around the 4 p.m. time frame tomorrow. We might have a storm chaser down there just in case we have a tornado. But we do have that severe weather threat. I will be covering it. Additionally, heavy flooding will be occurring in probably a lot of central Tennessee during this time in central Kentucky. And then we're going to start to see that ice really start to move into central Kentucky. And it's going to slice through the same areas over and over again, leading to potentially devastating ice totals in western Tennessee and western and central Kentucky. Also, you can't forget about southern Ohio here. Some very heavy ice is expected for you guys as well. And as we go into the future, we could see a continuation of this ice storm through Pennsylvania, into New York, possibly even into southern New England there. We're going to keep a very close eye on that. Wow. I mean, once again, it's kind of overwhelming doing these forecasts because there's a lot going on. It's hard to cover everybody because there's just so much going on at the same time. Let's look at those snow totals, all right? On top of what you already have right now, we're looking at 6 to 12 inches anywhere in the purples and the pinks, according to the NAM 3 kilometer model. All right. If we switch over to, let's say, the GFS, for example, it's still showing quite a bit more than that. Okay, but it also shows that first hit a little bit more. Let's go back over to the Euro. Okay, this is also showing anywhere in the purples or the pinks, 6 to 12 inches on top.
I love those fender flares on the earlier Dodge trucks.
Let's look at that National Weather Service forecast. Okay, this is your official forecast. If you're in the light blue or the blue back in here, we're talking about 2 to 4 inches. Maybe 3 to 6, okay, if you're like on the higher end of things, 3 to 6. The grays.
I want somebody to ask him, if you're in the pink, how many inches you're going to get.
Skip or scuff of snow. The big heavy axis of snow is going to be in the purples and the pinks here, where we're talking about 6 to 12 inches of snow, with a bullseye of over a foot of snow from Champaign, Illinois through Fort Wayne up to Detroit. All right, Northwest Ohio, once again, purple to pink, 6 to 12. Upstate New York, purple to pink, 6 to 12. This is kind of what we're thinking right now. All right, now let's talk about that freezing rain. Very unfortunate freezing rain forecast from the National Weather Service. Anybody in the darker pink, you can't expect over a quarter of an inch of ice. And this will lead to widespread power outages that could last for multiple days for some of you guys. And it will also lead to travel implications that are the further south and west you go, the worse those are going to get. Even just a glaze of ice is going to cause big problems down here in central Tennessee or central Texas. Now, don't get me wrong. I know we got a lot of Texas people here. Okay, how many people do we have from Texas watching right now? I want to see you in the chat. A lot of people are scared to death of winter weather down here, especially after what happened last year. And I don't blame you one bit. A lot of people like to make fun of you. I'm never going to be that person. But I've said this a million times already. I want to say it again. This is not going to be a repeat of last year. All right? This is not going to be that. The difference is this year we're talking about a potential ice storm. All right? And it's for a much smaller portion of the state. I'm only concerned about significant ice accumulation in the northeastern quadrant of the state. Okay, this does include Dallas. This does include Sherman. And it includes the northeastern portions over here. And there is definitely the potential for some power outages, and some cold air is going to come in after it. But it's not going to be the whole state. It's it's not going to be as detrimental as last year. I promise you that. But I understand you want to be up to date, you want to be informed, you want to make sure that you're prepared for everything, and that's why you're here, and that's why I'm going to continue to update you on everything that's going on here. Okay, so I just want to make sure you don't buy into the hype. This is not a repeat of last year. It's going to be all right. We're going to get through this together, but still prepare for the worst. The worst is potentially a half inch of ice just there in northeastern Texas. Additionally, snow is possible back here too, which snow isn't as dangerous, but constant problems in Texas. And even 3 or 4 inches of snow is going to make travel a little difficult.
Yeah, the rain's really coming down now.
That salt brine build up. Oh boy, I am parched after talking for how long now? Lord goodness. I'm about to say we're going to be going for 22 minutes. Did the stream restart, guys? Did I lose connection and reconnect? 2 hours is what we've actually been going for. How many of you guys have been here since the beginning? How many of you have been here since the beginning?
Alright, the wind's getting pretty bad.
It does look like some of our watches and warnings are expanding. Once again, we're heading over to the Radar Omega app. On this app, it's a radar app. You can get it through a link in the description. So once again, here's the purple. We're under winter storm warnings, or ice storm warnings. I need a way to make the background. I need a way. That's the background. I know that's going to make you guys understand better what's going on. So once again, Louisville, Lexington are under ice storm warnings. We have an expansion now. New ice storm warnings are being issued for Madison, Indiana, Salem, Indiana. All right, Jasper, Indiana, Princeton, and Evansville are under ice storm warnings now. So a little bit of an expansion there, and still Hopkinsville, Madisonville, Louisville, Lexington, all these places are under ice storm warnings as well. And then a little bit of an expansion down to the southeast here. We've got Paris, Humboldt, Memphis, and Forest City under ice storm warnings a little bit further south as well. These might expand even a little bit further to the north as the day goes on. No doubt in my mind about that. Was there a problem with the stream? I don't remember. Okay, so let's go back to the map here. Give y'all a full overview of everything that's going on. We're going to switch back over to a high-def radar there around Chicago. Once again, we do have professional storm chasers, Vince Welty out there today, and Mike Scantlin. Now, we've got more coming aboard. Obviously, we've got Mike in Oklahoma, so we're going to keep you guys updated on everything that's going on around the Tulsa region. We've got Vince Welty, who's in Illinois, who's just literally going to be all up and down Illinois this evening. So everybody in Illinois, we're going to have eyes on the ground for you with Vince. And then later today, we've got Brett Adair, who should be coming on in a couple hours to give us a live view of what's going on down there in Texas. Okay, he's going to be in the Dallas area. Then he'll probably follow that up into Arkansas. And then even later than that, maybe we might have to wait till tomorrow for Brandon. But we got Brandon Kopic in the Toledo, Ohio area, who will be going back and forth, I'm sure, between Ohio and Michigan, giving us eyes on the ground for what they're dealing with as far as snow goes in that region of the world. So once again, we got all kinds of views. We got all... With the weather here, not only live radar and state-of-the-art weather models, we've got, our people on the ground here. So super huge shout out to Vince Welty and Mike Scantlin, who are currently, on the road right now. Also, we got some very generous and nice viewers out there who are providing us with live cameras, just stationary live cameras pointing out their bedroom window or whatever it is of their yards out here. This one's in Columbia, Missouri. Thank you so much for sending that in. And then we got another really cool one here from Kyle in St. Louis. Okay, so we can keep up with that one on the website. This is a YouTube stream. So yeah, thank you so much, Kyle, for hooking us up with this very awesome view of St. Louis. We got every single corner of America locked down because not only that, not only do we have Vince, not only do we have Mike, not only do we have our live streams, but we have y'all. We have y'all on every single aspect of this storm from every single corner of America. All 14,000 of you are sending in pictures and videos through Twitter at Ryan Hall, y'all. Like this one. Not sure how many inches my weather app says, 7.2 inches south of the suburbs of Chicago. So we've got tons of pictures and videos coming in on Twitter, guys. If you want to send me one at Ryan Hall, y'all, you can do that right now. Looks like the state, what is this? The State Guard is helping out. Thanks for this video. What is that? The State or the National Guard going down the road there? I don't know where you're located. But I would say that you'll see a lot of utility vehicles out and about, especially if you're in Western Kentucky and Western Tennessee. You're going to see a lot of these guys driving down. And then, of course, we might actually see some guard out there helping out, as we do expect potentially some very, very damaging impacts from this ice storm along the Ohio River and into the mid-Mississippi Valley there. Oh, do you hear that? Do you hear that sound? How many people do we have still watching that know what that sound is? It means that it's time for a forecast breakdown. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Every hour on the hour, we take a little break and we zoom out a little bit, okay? We're talking about Indiana, Illinois all day. Let's talk about some other places briefly. And of course, if you tweet Break It Down Ryan, hashtag Break It Down Ryan at me with a unique picture of it. Maybe it's a picture of you and the family watching the stream. Maybe it's a selfie of you crying down there in South Carolina because you don't have any snow. Just make it unique, tweet it at me. Our mods are going to pick a winner, and then I am going to do a customized forecast for your hometown. So go ahead and start sending in those pictures and videos while I zoom out on the weather radar here, and we kind of take a look at some places that are not some of the places that we do nothing but talk about during this stream. Okay, so where's everybody located today? Let's get this going. Let's turn our observations back on and start looking at some temperatures. Once again, it's about 36 or 34 degrees over here in Seattle. Portland's around 41 degrees as we are approaching the early morning sunrise hours down here. Los Angeles has went from 46 to 50 degrees. We've got some snow showers and some heavy snow showers in central Minnesota there near Albuquerque, where it's 30 degrees. Flagstaff is at 16. What are some of these very low temperatures in the mountains of Montana? It's -9, -18 up here in northern Montana. Look at that, guys. It is extremely cold. I know we got some Canadians watching. Where are our Canadians at right now? Buddy, it's -24 up there in Red Deer. -31 in Saskatoon, and then down here in Winnipeg, it's -18, which is a balmy 4 degrees higher than it was the last time we checked. It's -5 in Minneapolis, and of course, the further south you go, the warmer it gets. But we're going to skip our storm here because we're going to get back to that right here in a second. And over here in New York City, it's 37. It's 37 in Baltimore, also 37 in Virginia Beach. How about that? And then, of course, we all want to be down here in Savannah, Georgia, where it's 60 and 75 in Miami. This is a broad overview of everything that's going on right now. If you are anywhere in that circle, you are undergoing a major winter storm right now. Now, if you are south of the circle, you might see some rain, but for the most part, this is going to be not very impactful for you. If you're north and west of the circle, the next 24 hours are just going to be cold. All right. Now, if you're north and east of the circle, this is where we're talking about the potential for some big-time impacts from this storm as we go into the future. So, speaking of the future, let's talk about that on the weather models. Let's look at the whole country. All right.
Skyline
we're done zooming in
RG.
here. Okay,
Wow.
at least for the brief moment that we are talking about right now. We're done zooming in. We're going to zoom out and look at the whole country. What's that future view looking like for you guys? Let's go over to the weather models. Of course, this is what it looks like right now. As we go into the future, you're going to start seeing that rain and snow break out around 2 a.m. in the morning in Thursday in upstate New York. A little bit earlier than that in Pennsylvania. And of course, it's going to get warm before it gets cold in New England. Okay, so if you have, I know a lot of you guys are still snowed in. You got a bunch of snow on the ground. A lot of that's going to melt before the snow or the ice comes back into you. Once again, Florida, you're nice, calm, and warm. A couple snow showers in the higher elevations back here in the plateaus in western Rocky region, heading towards the Sierras and the Cascades there in the Pacific Northwest. Most of this is going to be happening in the higher elevations, but I'm telling you, for the most part, outside of our major storm, everybody's pretty quiet. After this thing goes by, I might get to sleep a little bit, as we do have a little bit of a break coming in directly after this storm. Now, in our next weather breakdown, we will look at the long-term forecast and see if there's any more big winter storms coming. And then, of course, we all want to be down here in Savannah, Georgia, where it's 60 and 75 in Miami. This is a broad overview of everything that's going on right now. If you are anywhere like a cat, is going to remain warm enough to produce sleet in the beginning. So around 9 p.m. tonight there in southern Missouri, you're going to start to see some sleet.
God, the crosswinds are
But I
crazy.
do believe as later on into the night, into the early morning hours tomorrow, around 12 a.m. midnight, you're going to switch over to all snow. And buddy, this is going to be heavy snow. Okay, it's going to come down hard. It's going to come down fast, and you might even get thunder snow. All right, if you're willing to stay up all the way till 3 a.m. tonight, take a picture or a video.
Wow.
Thunder snow, and I will deliver. I will have pizza delivered to your house. I don't know if you got pizza delivery there in Seligman.
The
All right?
grass, if you look, if you can see it, the grass to the right is all being blown over. The crosswind is insane. Crazy crosswind. Yeah, it's like a 3/4 wind. I went from 10 miles in a gallon to 6. Now, of course, we're going to go north on 65, so that's right up Tornado Alley for Alabama. We might see some crazy stuff. Who knows? Looks like Whistling Diesel's playing. I didn't know he had a plane. That's scary. Although that Skyline's a great aircraft to fly. It really is.
Watch out, vehicle on shoulder ahead.
Yep, I see it way up there. Hey, dang. Kinda. Listening to the weather. The wind is insane. There's a busted 6-liter diesel on the side of the road. She's in Florida. She moved to Florida now. Right? Yeah, the conditions I'm in right now are pretty sketchy. Actually, they're really sketchy. But again, it's only 61 degrees where I am, so it's not like it's snow. It's just huge wind. There's Kelly from the ambulance. Dude, I tried calling you. You turn that thing into a storm chasing vehicle and go chasing tornadoes down in Florida. Seriously. that. Got a brand new tent tag on the back of it.
Maybe a break in the precip for a couple of hours later this evening. I may use that time to reposition. I may end up even heading toward the Toledo area or the Indianapolis area. I'm not sure. I guess I'll look and see how that second swath of snow sets up in a couple of hours. So
Can't get the lid
if
off
you
my
break the stream, that's
watermelon.
fine. I'll definitely be out here
There we
either
go.
way.
All right, sounds good. And as you keep going south, keep us updated. If things change visually as far as the road conditions go, just throw me a quick holler over here and I'll throw your stream up. But be careful and keep us updated on what you plan on doing. So that's professional storm chaser Vince Welty.
All right, thanks.
And yeah, he's just out there driving around in the snow. Mike Scanlon is down there in Oklahoma. I don't know if he's got an update for us or not. Hey, Mike, how's it going? See if he's got anything to say. Obviously, not a lot's going on in Oklahoma right now. We're going to wait for some of those heavier bands of precipitation to form later tonight. But that's another reason why I might split the stream into two parts today. That way I don't, kind of burn myself out before the biggest part of the storm happens. We'll call this the forecasting section of the live stream. Then we'll do the nowcasting, and then we'll do the postcasting.
That truck's hauling boogie. I'm going 65 miles an hour.
Hey,
He's
thank you guys
rolling.
once again for continuing to send in pictures and videos on the channel. Ooh, here's an updated view of Fort Wayne. Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's definitely snow there now. We were debating earlier as to whether or not we were all snow and whether or not we were all rain. Because the radar was a little bit conflictive, but now we know for sure that we are mostly snow, at least in Fort Wayne. Thank you, David, for sending that in. Huge shout out to everybody who's keeping us up to date today out there on the ground. Please only take pictures out of your windows and your door frames. We don't want anybody out on the roads today. Here's Jeans in Southeast Michigan today at 10:50. Wow. Decent amount of snow already piling up there. Thank you for that. Looks like it's still coming down good. It's that heavy, wet, fluffy snow. By the way, a lot of you guys are going to be getting the kind of snow that is snowman worthy. Okay, and you guys know
I'm downtown Tulsa right now. You're just getting a little bit of a drone flight in, showing some of the highway traffic and snow plows and salt trucks and all that stuff. But not really much of a change here. Still off and on. Intermittent freezing rain here. Truck says I'm at 27 degrees, so I'm probably more like 24, 23. Truck runs a little
Yeah,
hot.
I know.
But, we have had some ice pellets just off and on here mixed in with the drizzle. But, no major changes here. Still no accidents or anything. A lot of the crews are out keeping the
Kelly, have
roads
you
clear.
figured out how to get the stereo systems and all that to work?
So right now it's sailing, but we're just right on the cusp of things starting to get back up.
Have you been to any like stores or supermarkets? What's the general vibe down there? Are people kind of like freaking out about this storm? Is it a milk and bread kind of deal, or are people pretty relaxed over there in Tulsa about this?
We did do a little bit of grocery shopping last night, and there's no milk and bread. A lot of the things are gone as well. I also hit up a couple of hardware stores in there, completely out of sidewalk salt, as well as shovels and things like that.
That's a good deal. That's awesome.
I was in Minnesota for a storm in December, and it's crazy. They get 16 inches of snow and everything stays open. And they're doing concessions. But down here in Oklahoma, it's a little bit more rare to get 2 plus inches of snow, and it'll shut us down for a day or two.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. And
TVs need to be on AC power, but the inverter should be giving you AC power. That's why there's a little switch that says inverter. If the inverter's not putting power out, then what you need to do is raise up the rear-facing seat that's in the back. And inside there is where the inverter is. It has a GCFI or GFCI plug. Hey, there's an Enterprise red truck. But you just push that GFCI, contact, and it will kick the power back on. Sometimes it trips. It just depends. Yeah, GFCI. Okay. I know I wasn't stupid. I just can't remember some things. I'm getting old.
Daniel, thanks for becoming a member. CJ Wright with a big 20. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Your generosity means the world.
It means
the world to me
world.
and everybody that is behind the scenes here helping us out with the channel. Remember, continue to send in your reports, to @MyCallMeAll on Twitter and also Facebook. If you want to do it through Facebook, you can do it through Facebook. We've got somebody over there watching, sending me your pics. Brett, thank you so much for this video. I don't know where this is, but it looks awfully snowy. We've got a picture in from Kyle, 4 inches on both sides of the yard here in in Columbia, Missouri. This is Kyle. This is the Kyle. I'm going to retweet this. We can get that on Facebook too, Carly. That'd be cool. But this is where our live camera is. So Kyle has been kind enough to share his front yard with us.
I haven't heard that song yet.
Live stream there.
I'll have to check that out.
Continue to see snow pile up here over the next day or so. So thank you so much for providing us with that. That's super duper awesome of you. Let's see if we can't get more pictures and videos on here. Keep them coming in, guys. Remember, @Ryan All Y'all on Twitter. Here is Dylan in Ripley, West Virginia. It got us on the TV screen there. Might as well. You know what I'm saying?
I sent him our live
Thank
feed.
you guys so much. Here's a look at Ontario. There we go. There's our Canadians. After the whole morning ice and rain, it finally started to snow in Waterloo, Ontario. So there we go. You're probably going to be snow from here on out. Probably going to be snow from here on out. Here's a good picture from Goshen, Indiana. This is, once again, the kind of snow that I like when it starts really piling up on the trees out there. Now, unfortunately, this can cause some intermittent, isolated power outage problems, but I love it. It looks beautiful out there in Indiana. Thanks for that. Thanks for sending that in.
The box truck in front of me is going sideways
Ryan
because of the
Hall on Facebook as
headwind. I keep telling you, it's like a 3/4 headwind.
Super shout out to Jackie. Says, thank you, Ryan Hall, for all you do. You're the best weatherman. Aw, I don't know if I'm the best. There's definitely some very, very good weathermen out there. Paramedic supervisor. Thanks for becoming a moderate risker. And Mock says, honest thoughts from
Diesel
Bowling Green,
overflow.
Kentucky.
What is
That's
that?
going to have to come here in a little bit, because you hear that, guys. That's another sound. There's a lot of sounds we're going to have to start listening to if we watch long term on this stream. When you hear the harp, it's time for me to go refill my water bottles and take a quick break. That means that we have been going now for 2.5 hours straight. Thank you, guys. How many of you guys have been here since the beginning? Once again, we are going to take a very quick break here on the Ryan Hall Y'all YouTube channel. For my health, it has been noted that it's probably not great for me to sit here for 6 hours at a time before I take my first break. So I'm going to start trying to do every 2.5 hours. I take a 10-minute break or so. So I'm going to go hydrate. Might give me a little something to eat. You guys stay tuned. All right, don't go anywhere. All right. Please continue to share this on Facebook, share this on Instagram, share this on Twitter, and all that good stuff.
Wind is
You know
crazy.
you want to. You know you want to get the word out there. I know you wanted to keep me the best kept secret, but I mean, that's just not fair. It's not fair, guys. All right, give me just a second here. I'm going to try my best to make a BRB screen for you. Remember, I have to do this every time. It seems like. So give me just a second. Once again, you guys are going to see that live producing action, live producing Ryan on the screen here. Hopefully we'll only have to do this one time. And then we're going to bada bing, bada boom. Let's go. Oh.
Can y'all see that truck's going down the road sideways?
Give me just a second here. We're going to figure this out.
The rear of the truck is
Also,
further to the right than the left.
I see. Okay, so I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to Control Z that. Oh my goodness. Live production on the fly. Where else do you get this behind the scenes action?
That is just
Channel?
sketchy.
No. Ha! Got him. All right, now I should be good on this one now. To kind of full screen our view. I just want to make sure y'all don't get bored while I'm gone. I'm going to give you something to look at here. Oh my goodness. It ain't hurting me none to spend a little bit extra time on this. Dang. All right, this is going to have to be good enough. This is going to have to be good enough. There's your live streamers, and I will be right back.
Kelly, how warm is it down in Florida right now? Yeah, I have the C-Ray 310s behind me. days like this, the wind is brutal. What's 6,000 pounds? It's 11:11. Have you made your weather wish? Oh, wow. I don't think I ever weighed it. 6,000 pounds isn't bad, considering my truck weighs almost 10,000. That box is all aluminum. I remember when Bilstein did the shocks and the springs for that thing. They put it on scales and they weighed it. So, I guess it doesn't surprise me. Oh, here we go. Another squeeze. I can get a hit of this 18-wheeler. Get behind this one. No kidding. Have you been watching the latest videos? I have a whole playlist. Uh-oh. Everybody stopped. Here we go. And what's funny is the music you're hearing is from Ryan Hall, y'all's channel. And I'm watching him live to get his video feed on the weather. Since I'm going right up to the area where all this bad weather is. Man, we're 3.5 miles away from the turn and it is packed. What is going on? Alright. Time to let the truck drive. Oh, here comes the wrecker. All right, what's this license plate? T-A-N-L-A-N. Taintland? Taintland? Tate and then lawn. I don't know. I can't figure it out. Tate and lawn? Taint lawn? I don't know. Times. Come on. Thanks, Ray. I appreciate that. I'm gonna refurbish this helicopter rotor shaft, now flagpole, and I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it so I can sleeve it, meaning I can put a sleeve at my house and I can put another one at the shop. Depending on where I want to fly the flag, I can just move the bulb.
They messed up or something, like for the credit card deposit for the incidentals. They ended up accident.
Ryan Hall is back. Right now we're letting the truck drive itself on auto drive, which is nice. I use that more in stop and go traffic. I have it set for 20 miles an hour in about a 2-car gap.
I don't actually run up a credit with like the deposits. It's easier to keep track of. So I still got this $500 sitting on my car.
I sound like Butthead talking to Beavis. Yeah.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we heard you
Can
before.
you hear me now?
Oh, it happened 21 there.
All right, we're getting some air in our bags. And we're about ready to freaking load up our trailer. Welcome back to P5 Speed. Today we are getting ready to head out to Sick Week. Super excited. We got some parts for Kyle. We're hauling some stuff for Jamie, and we've got the stuff for Goofy. So let's hook up this trailer. Sounds good. Let's do this. Yeah, welcome to that life. I don't have the front drive shaft in. As many of you know, these Dodges had a front drive shaft problem, and I felt that when I take the transfer case out on one trip, so I pulled over and just ripped it off, and I haven't put it back on. Put your fingers in that. You'll remember for at least a week. Woo! Let's surf. It is beautiful today, Gordo. Went from blue blizzard to warm. Perfect. I got a glove. There we go. Hey, we got you a present.
This is great. This is awesome.
Rob's back.
We got taillights fixed too.
So your lights were working?
Well, just this one. Nothing on this side's working right now. On the back.
Set up now. Holy cow, it's a little bit different.
All right, Rob. So what do we do? It looks like some turbos.
Yeah, turbos. There's a 78, 75 horse performance on it now. So new downpipes, back out the fender cutouts again.
Oh, that's nice. They come down and
Yeah,
out.
tucked in.
Yep.
Yeah, nice little trim down.
Yep. Anything else really changed in here?
That's the biggest.
Okay.
See the gate?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know, I hadn't gotten that far. That's why I said in here. So now in the cabin,
Now we have 25.5 in the cage.
there you go.
Our certain 70.
Did you cut the whole thing out and start over, or did you
Left
just
the
add
main-
to it?
Left the main hoop, the halo, and the front deck.
Alright. I didn't see any sense for all that traffic. Did y'all?
Watch out, crash reported ahead.
Imagine that. Oh, the crash is in the left-hand lane. Not getting in that lane. He crashed his Ford. Shocker. He got all muddy. Alright, there's a big ass flag up here. Let's see what direction it's going in. I should be getting a nice little push now. now I got about a 3/4 tailwind. Oh, looks like a straight ass tailwind. Look at that. Nah, it's still 3/4. I'll take it. No perfect people allowed. I remember taking pictures there. I feel like I'm in Texas with all these flags here. You're gonna pull in front of me, you better accelerate. No, Kelly, it doesn't tell me who actually watched. It just tells me I had a number of people, how many views. Hey, Jeff. I'm driving north on 65 now. North on 65. I gotta edit my listing. Actually heading home. Heading to Florence, South Carolina. I still got the C-Ray behind me. Tomorrow I'm going to go deliver it in Charleston, South Carolina. Trucks around me. Thanks for stopping by, man. There's a slow mover and a popo. Man, I love those new Tahoes. Yep, it is about lunchtime. Exit 13's got a Whataburger? What? Thanks to my sister, I had some Whataburger while I was in Texas.
Overspeed.
Yeah. Alright. Well, now that we're no longer on I-10, I'm gonna kill this broadcast. Because we're on I-65. The only way to adjust the title is to stop it and save the live stream. So I'm gonna drop this live stream out, guys, and I'll start it a little bit later. Y'all have a blessed day.